5:01.
You're ready, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. We're recording.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our special meeting. This is for the budget review. We're going to go over a couple of things that we talked about last meeting because there were people in the audience that wasn't here and 2 council members that need to be refreshed. So without further ado, Mr. Chappell, can we stand and say a blessing and pledge our allegiance?
Oh Lord, help us, this committee to go and make sure we do the budget for everybody's benefit this year. It's an important step of Parker, so we need to make sure we do it right. I ask you in this name. Also, would you protect our police officers and our firemen, and hopefully we have no more incidents like we had this past week. Pray for I don't know if she passed away or not, but pray for our officers anyway. And I ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. So what it be?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Don't mind, please be seated. Before we start the regular agenda, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Certainly. Ms. Barrow? Here. Ms. Botiford is absent. Mr. Chappell?
Here.
Mr. Haney?
Here.
And Mayor Kelly.
Here. Thank you, ma'am. Before we proceed on with item 1, is there anybody in the audience that would like to come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and discuss anything that's not on the agenda? There's only 3 items on the agenda. Okay, so for your edification, Suzanne's going to come to the podium, and she's going to go over the things she went over last week for the first hearing of the budget. It'll coincide with what you have in front of you, and tell you where we are as far as the numbers and how we got to where we are. Would you come to the podium, please?
Okay, we will start. You have your 25-26 budget in front of you. During our workshop last week, we had one change. Ms. Barrow had requested that we add $5,000 more into a supply line item for our firemen to get choking items for
And medical supplies.
medical supplies, and yes. So that is the only change from our workshop. Just a couple of highlights. The budget has been prepared at an ad valorem consistent of at 3 mil. Due to the property value increase, it is an 11 million increase from prior year. This is 20.04% above the rollback rate. So the rollback rate is 2.4991. The budget is also prepared with water revenue increase of 3%. The county is increasing our cost 2.6%. The sewer revenue is increasing 4%. That is the county's increase of our cost of sewer as well. Just another couple of highlights. Fund 1 is our general government fund. That is general government, police, fire, code, trash, street, fleet, and parks. You'll also see Fund 2, that is our CRA. Fund 41 is utility, which is water and sewer. And then you'll see Fund 42, which we segregate out our SRF loan that we received in January, and work on that water main has started. From a personnel standpoint, we are still at budgeting 37 FTEs, which is the current year that we are in now. That is the same number of FTEs. The budget does reflect an average pay increase of approximately $1 per person. The city does pay 100% of health, dental, and life insurance. We have budgeted that to stay the same. There is a cost increase to health insurance. It currently is $943 a month. It is going up to $932 a month. So per employee, that's $11,190. Not all employees take it, most do, but we have budgeted for every employee in the city to take that if there were to be turnover or any of those situations. The FRS contributions is the retirement that is mandated by the state of how much we have to supply per person. The fire is increasing the fire and police are increasing from 32.79% to 35.19%. That was actually effective July 1st. And all other employees are increasing 13.63% to 14.03%. So those are just kind of a general highlight of our budget. Now I will start going down our budget. Our first page, we have our revenue. You can see on the Department 311 is our ad valorem taxes. We are estimating $903,262 in ad valorem revenue. That is 95% of our gross taxable value at $3 million. Overall, we do intend to, and you'll see this further down in the budget, we do intend to use rollover funds from the infrastructure for the project. So you will see $937,000 for infrastructure. That includes 2 years of rollover funds that we've already received from the state that have not been spent yet. So overall, our general government revenue, we are projecting to be $4,916,293, which is a 21% increase over the budget this year. Are there any questions on general government revenue? Okay. Department 519, that is our general government. Overall, that budget is projected to increase 10% over the current year's budget. The next budget is police department. They have a 0% increase. It is actually maybe less than $1,000 increase, but it accounts to a 0%. The next department is our fire department. They are showing an increase. One of the items that has been requested is a fire truck to replace engine number 8. That is $1.5 million. The city has determined that we will use unrestricted funds from the utility department to help pay for this fire truck. That is the proposal that would be on the table. Again, this is unrestricted. It does say reserves, and I think reserves can be interpreted to be restricted, unrestricted, designated, undesignated. This is unrestricted net assets from the utility fund. The funds would be transferred from utility to general government, and then general government will purchase the fire truck if that is what is voted upon.
Should that fund be repaid back in some way?
The unrestricted amount of money is funds that the utility department has built up over the years. It's their income, just like
No financing.
no financing, yes.
Cash.
Understood.
It's almost like, think about like your personal business on your balance sheet, your equity. It's that amount that you've built up over the years. That is and we have a restricted amount and we have an unrestricted amount.
Understood.
So this is unrestricted. There's no regulations on.
So we can go out and buy a crack with that fund?
I mean, there is regulation.
We make some money, huh?
Right.
What's the difference between the restricted and the unrestricted?
The restricted mean, can I address that? The restricted is, it is only for a specific purpose, and it cannot be used for any other purpose than what it is restricted for.
So how much of the utility fund is restricted and how much is unrestricted?
Unrestricted at the end of 2023 is $4 million.
Today's is 2025.
Well, yes, ma'am.
So how much is unrestricted today?
We are anticipating probably approximately at the end, you have to add, you have to get to the end of the year, so I wouldn't have a 2025 number for you. We're not at the end of the year, it has not been closed out.
So just as a general,
I
We're-
anticipate to add about 600,000 more to the $4.4 million that we have in unrestricted.
so
from the
when
utility
we
fund.
take the unrestricted, the 1.4 million, what will be left in the unrestricted?
Do I have?
By crack or
No. No. None would be available to buy crack.
Damn it.
I don't have that paper with me, but I can get you the answer for it.
Wait till tomorrow.
I think we need Hunter Biden involved with this somehow.
Go ahead, ma'am.
So, are there any questions about the fire truck before we move on? Okay.
No, ma'am.
The next department is our code department. That department is actually budgeted to decrease 12%. Our trash department is a 1% decrease in our overall budget. Our street department is an increase of 55%. You will see that we are projecting $1.5 million in there for the paving projects that are the infrastructure dollars. Those would be restricted infrastructure.
Repeat that, I was spread some.
Infrastructure funds in the
Would be
street
restricted.
department would be restricted, yes. We can only use it for infrastructure projects. We can't transfer that money for anything else.
Yeah, it would be nice to know how much of the general fund is restricted and unrestricted.
Okay. The fleet department is a 6% increase. Parks department is a decrease of 11%. So overall, our total expenditures in Fund 1, including the new fire truck and the paving project, would be a 51% increase. But prior to the fire truck purchase, the general fund would be short $775,111. So that is the amount that the utility fund would still have to transfer over to the general fund to be whole. We don't have enough money in our avalorium or other general revenues to fund, and so thankfully avalorium has helped that go down, but it's still not enough to cover the general fund. Fund 2 is our community redevelopment agency. We anticipate the revenues there to be $256,000. That's a 52% increase over what we have budgeted in this current fiscal year. Overall, we expect to spend all of those funds, and so it's a net of zero. Fund 41 is utility funds. Our charges for service, we anticipate a 4% increase. Our other miscellaneous, Department 360, you can see that there's a decrease of 92%. That's because in this current fiscal year, we had our CDBG grant. We don't have that grant that reoccurs next fiscal year. So that would essentially be a decrease in our revenue. Overall decrease of 14%. Expenditures in the water department, we do have the budgeted increase from the county for the cost of water of 2.6%. So it is a total increase in water department expenditures of 5%. The sewer department, we have the budgeted increase from the county and the cost of water. But overall, the sewer department will decrease 29%, again, due to we do not have the CDBG grant expenditures again in next fiscal year. We are, at the desire of mayor, putting $100,000 into the savings account. So the overall net revenue and expenditures, the utility department will have income of $798,477, which is enough to cover the deficit in the general fund. Fund 42 is our SRF loan. We received this loan in January. This is the water main project. We anticipate that we will receive about $5 million from that loan in next fiscal year. We will have $5 million of expenditures. That's the reimbursement from the loan. We have payments due on our other SRF loan. That's what the principal and interest is for the debt service. Those are the loans we currently have, not this water main project loan. Are there any questions?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I've been researching SRF loans and I don't know much, but the one in January I thought was for 7 million.
It is.
Okay, so what was the previous one? So we have a loan for 7 million. You mentioned 5 million and that confused me.
Oh, well, the water main project will take a period of time to complete. So we don't get the money all up front.
Okay.
The loan is not just proceeds are put in our bank account. They are reimbursement. So we have to incur the cost, and then we request proving to the state what all we have spent, and then they cut us a check back.
For more, or?
No, they reimburse us.
Okay, so how much in total are we being loaned?
I would have to look at the loan document because in part of that agreement, we are also anticipated to have a portion of the loan forgiven. That will be a grant. And Tony, I believe it was $1 million. I don't remember the exact number. I would have to.
31%,
Mhm.
31 to 33%.
Yes. So we do anticipate loan forgiveness that will be in the form of a grant that will come from the state.
And that
But that
loan-
doesn't happen until the end.
Okay, and the end is 20 years from now?
No, the end of the project
Right,
construction.
but I mean the loan end. Is
I
the
would
loan
have to
for
look
tw-
at the term of the
I think
loans.
it's 20 years.
It's 20 years, but the 5 million that she's referring to is, that's the anticipated amount we intend to draw on that loan next year. It could go a year plus, but we only anticipate drawing 5 million off that 7 million.
So it's a 7 million loan, and you're gonna draw.
Possibility, yes.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Any questions, council, before we move on? Any questions from, yes, ma'am, go ahead.
It's more a statement. Is that okay? Is this time for a statement?
Don't you need to open up the public hearing for them to be?
Yeah, let me see here. Caught me off guard when you said you had a statement.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I thought you were gonna ask me a question. This is item 1. We're gonna open for public hearing and reading of resolution 2025-413 for the fiscal year 25-26. We need a motion to adopt tentatively.
No,
Before
we
we,
won't do that till the next
no,
meeting.
I still had a couple of questions about the budget.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to sit down?
No, I.
No, you can stay there. We'll be done.
Jumping jacks if you want to.
Okay.
I mean, I don't understand it. How does this work out? Does she need to have a comment before I comment?
You could go ahead.
You know, you can go ahead.
sir.
You were supposed to comment first. That's why I said if there's anybody got anything.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Mr. Sumlin, I just had a question about this, dump body truck. Is that an actual dump truck?
It's the 1 tons that we have. It's the little F-350s with the black dump body on the back.
Right. Is that because a new truck is needed, or is it because we just need something to haul material with?
But both the trucks were being replaced. So the one truck in the street department, it's a 2004, and the truck in the parks department's a 2001.
Okay.
Golly.
So they're both 20 years old. And like I said, they break all the time. They're mainly used for ditch maintenance, cleaning out the ditches and hauling the debris, running the trucks back and forth with debris out of the ditches.
Right.
But like I said, we're just trying to replace both those trucks.
I just seen dump truck, and I was thinking maybe you could spend 20 grand and get a fine dump trailer.
Yeah,
But I mean, if you need the truck as well, that's a whole different story.
yeah. It's the problem we run into then is when you start getting the dump trailer and the truck combinations, the states crack down on the CDLs, So if we hit 14,000 pounds on a dump trailer behind a 12,000 or 13,000 pound truck,
Then you gotta have an
we
A.
got A license to pull.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, so we go with the dump body and we don't have to have an A license.
Understood.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
Next question is for Chief Baxley. There's no increase in your budget.
No, I was taking advantage of not having employees, so we was able to get everything we needed for cars. And, so that's the reason no increase.
I was just assuming with the fiasco we had previously, it seemed like the department needed more funding for hiring premium
No,
officers.
well, we don't have, when we have a chief that works 24/7, and we're not paying employees, we're buying what we needed.
They took money that he already had before this.
Right.
Right.
And didn't buy one vehicle and spent it on vests and things that they needed
Right.
over there.
Right, so you're carrying several different roles in your position.
Yes. Now, next year we may ask for more money, but right now
We'll have
be
you
okay.
sold off before then.
Yeah. Have me replaced. Yeah.
Thank you.
Have the fire chief do it.
That's right.
Mr. Haney, I would like to also point out that in this current year budget, we have budgeted for 2 cars.
Right.
So their budget for cars in the current year that we're in was 126,000. The budget that you are, would be tentatively approving tonight, the car budget has been reduced to 70,000. So
Awesome.
essentially that money flowed into other line items.
That's awesome.
And kept the budget the same.
Thank you. Thank you. Had another question also about fire. I don't think he was around then, but you told me 8 years ago was the last time he bought a new fire truck. Do you remember how much that truck cost off the top of your head?
About $490.
Was it? I thought it was more than that for some reason.
And fire engines have gone up in value significantly. When we bought engine 9, sir, it took us 13 months to get it built,
I know that.
and now you might wait 3 or 4 years to get one.
Is this a new turnkey?
This
fire
is
truck?
brand new turnkey. It's a fire pumper with a lighter on the top, basically. And the number 8 truck she's 23 in October, as a matter of fact. And with the increase in size of buildings in Parker that we have got and that we are anticipating based on the land development changes that we're thinking are going to happen, a regular engine wouldn't be sufficient without some kind of an aerial device to supply rescue and water for multi-story structural firefighting. So, I did this for a little while, and Chief Higgins went out looking to see what we could find. And this truck is brand new. It was built by E1 down near, I think, in Bradenton, somewhere down in Central Florida. There's been some criticism that it wouldn't fit in the fire station. In anticipation of that, a month ago, we had them drive the truck to Parker. And we took the number 8 truck out of our station, and we had them back the new truck in, and it fit perfect with space on all sides. So anybody that says it won't fit, it's because they weren't paying attention.
No, they don't know what they're talking about.
How would this affect, was an ASO rating?
The ISO rating?
ISO.
Well, I'll give you the condensed version. Chief Higgins has got in his 3-ring binder the documentation if we would need to provide it. But the ISO is predicated on lots of things. Once we get past 4 or 5 structures greater than 3 floors or more, the insurance rate would be affected significantly. As much as 5 points, maybe. It might go if we have a 4. It could go to a 9 if we couldn't reach it. And you could say, well, when I was still chief, I had thought that we would call Tyndall Air Force Base for mutual aid and bring the ladder. And that's great. And we still may need 2 ladders at a fire. You don't know. But the ladder truck could also be in service someplace else. So we looked at all the options, and Parker has no place to grow in length and width. It can only grow in height. People are already buying old houses and bulldozing them and putting new homes in. We currently have, the tallest ladder we have is 35 feet, and with the angle of inclination, probably 24 foot was as high as you could get if you could get it up by yourself. The ladder is a one-man operation. You can use more people, but one individual can control it, move it around, raise it up, move it down, squirt water from it. Everything can be done by one person. So we, as I say, we have 5 structures right now, Mr. Haney, that we currently can't reach the top with the ladder structures, ladders that we have in place. This will remedy that. So the ladder is 75 feet and the body of the truck is 10. So its amount of climbable range is 85 feet. And I think that the new hotel, if my memory is 4 floors plus the roof. So about 55 feet, 11 foot of floor, so 44, 50, about 55 feet for the new hotel. The ladder will be able to get right up in it, right up on it. And if you buy this, if we buy this, then obviously they're going to be out there training on it, practicing with it. So as you grow taller, fire protection becomes a whole new thing. The old days of just being able to get in one room and get it will be over. This ladder will take us there. This ladder should last us in excess of 20 years.
Well, back to the ISO rating, does that just affect just the buildings that are 4 stories and more? Does it affect
All of
the
them, all of the city, the whole city.
That's right.
Your insurance rating rates the city.
Sure.
And so if we have a shortfall, let's say we can't reach the 4th floor, then that impacts the grade for the entire, all of the people. And what that does is it adjusts your insurance. So if your ISO goes up, and then your mortgage will go up because your insurance will go up. If you own your home outright, each year when you pay your insurance, you'll have to pay a greater amount of insurance because somebody's got to cover the cost of the ISO because the insurance company is anticipating a loss due to you can't reach the top of the building. So yeah, it's gonna, from when I first started here, Mr. Haney, this is just light years ahead of what we had in the old days, and this is gonna take us for the next 20 years for sure. And the other truck we have now, it barely passed the pump test. So
It's 8 years old now, right? Is it?
no, the other truck is 22 years old, almost 23.
Awesome. Wow.
That's the one we're gonna get rid of. That'll go to Brendel Mountain in Alabama and be resold to somebody else that needs a truck that's looks good, pumps good, drives good, 22 years old, and it barely passed the pump test. So somebody will get some good out of that somewhere, hopefully, and they'll refund us a little bit of the money that we're going to spend buying this ladder, should we decide to buy it. And I don't know what we're going to get for it yet. That's still up in the air. I instructed the chief that I did not want it sold or disposed of until the ladder was in the house, because I can't run short of one engine. The city can't be short one. He can't be short one engine because something's going to lay a line and something's going to fight fire. And we're going to be excellent. I went, and the day they brought it down here, they called me and they said, we got it. I went down to look at it, and the salesman told me he thought that once we decide if we're going to buy it, he told me, and once I figured out how we would be able to pay for it without financing it, he told me that it would take about 5 weeks to prep it up the way we want it, with all of the bracketry and everything on the truck and the logo and the lettering and everything. And then they'd deliver it. Hopefully we'll have it by end of October, maybe, if we get it. And hopefully then we can start training through the winter months. They can start training through the winter months on the best way to use it. And it's going to seem large compared to a lot of the regular homes in Parker. But when you start getting on the Parkway and that new hotel and all of the things, that's even La Brisa can benefit from this. And it's gonna change everything.
So they've already drove to Braden, Florida here.
Yeah.
That's 400 miles right there, right?
8 round trip.
Plus a used fire truck ought to be able to get it half price.
That's what I told. I told him the exact same thing when we sat in the station house. I said, "This is used."
Yeah.
He said, "Oh hell, you say it's brand new?" I said, "You brung it here."
Maybe we need to go take a ride down the break.
That's right.
Thanks for asking the question.
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
Mr. Chapel, you got anything?
No?
I don't have anything. I knew all
Okay.
the answers.
Ma'am, you got the pedestal. You may come to the podium.
Can I ask a question about this subject first?
Sure, go ahead.
Do you have a mutual aid agreement with Panama City?
Yes.
Will that stop with the new truck, or
No, ma'am.
you have a new truck and you still have a
So we have a statewide mutual aid agreement. We have agreement with every fire department in this county and in this state.
Okay. You are the expert in fire. I
No,
know that.
not
Yes, you
anymore. My
are.
days are over.
Yes, you are. You are. I will
If
never
we were hit,
argue with you about
if we
fire.
were hit by a hurricane, we did all hands on deck. Fire, police, everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. This is I'm Jeanette Howard, 1123 East Park Street. Mayor, in 2023, you convinced many people here in Parker that we needed an ad valorem tax
Yes, ma'am.
because the pipes beneath our feet were in such drastic need of repair.
Yes, ma'am.
And the reason for this, you said, was that the utility fund, Tony's fund, was being robbed to pay to run the city.
It was. Still is.
You explained that if we had an ad valorem tax, the utility fund would remain funded and capable of doing the necessary infrastructure maintenance that in the past had been sorely neglected.
Yes, ma'am.
Fast forward to today, where you are asking to move 1.4 million from the utility fund to purchase a fire truck.
Yes, ma'am.
You're doing exactly what you said needed to stop. Robbing the utility fund to run the city.
Would you have me finance it? Ma'am, you've opened the floor. Would you have me finance it? Ma'am,
I'm trying to think of an answer.
tell me
ma'am.
what you think.
I'm thinking that you're doing exactly what you told
Ma'am,
everybody
you
in
opened the
Parker.
floor.
When you said
You
we
opened the
needed an
floor.
ad valorem
Tell me
tax,
how I'm
you
gonna get the
said
money.
We needed to stop robbing Tony. And you convinced everybody in Parker that we needed an ad valorem tax.
We do.
Okay, so that we would stop robbing Tony, and we are going to continue robbing him. And if you would let me finish, I don't have an answer for you. You're the mayor. I'm just a nobody.
You're not a nobody. You're a citizen of Parker.
I am
It
a
matters.
citizen of Parker. If I could please continue. So, I have a copy of the SRF loan dated January 2025, and you are the expert. I don't know what I'm talking about the SRF either, but I care enough to come here and ask questions.
Absolutely.
And probably be humiliated, but I care enough.
You're not going to be humiliated.
Okay, so upon review of this SRF loan, I see that it is a revenue-based loan, a utility-secured loan, not a general obligation loan. It's a utility-based loan, not a general obligation loan. It states pledged revenues are gross revenues from the utility system after operating expenses and other yearly obligations. That means the utility enterprise is the repayment source. Okay, Article 5 of this SRF loan covers rates and use of system, requires the city to keep water sewer rates high enough to pay operations and maintenance and debt. So this SRF is saying that you, Mayor, you need to keep the water and the sewer rates high enough to be able to pay this loan off.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Article 7 prohibits, and maybe I'm wrong because Suzanne said the difference between, I forget what those words were. Restricted and unrestricted.
Right.
But upon reading the SRF, I wish Mr. Sloan were here. I can't believe he's not here for a budget meeting, but nevertheless. So Article 7 states that it prohibits diverting those revenues, so those water and sewer revenues, away from debt coverage. So the intent is you get a loan for millions of dollars, and you use your utility, your water and sewage, to pay that loan off. Okay? Article 6, pledged revenues. So this is the part where I would love to ask the legal expert, is Article 6, it says pledged revenues. It states diversion or failure to maintain coverage would be a default because the loan is utility backed. It's utility backed. The city cannot take money from the utility fund to buy unrelated equipment like a fire truck. I'm not saying you don't need a fire truck. I'm saying that this loan, when you read it, it says that it is, it's a revenue-based loan. So the money you bring in from utility is now in your application, you also included ad valorem, but not in the final document. There is no mention of ad valorem in the final document. So that's a question for Mr. Sloan. In the application, you said you would pay back the loan with the water and the sewer and the ad valorem. But when you read the SRF final document of January 2025, there's no mention of ad valorem. So, but you all are smarter than me. So if you cannot use it to buy unrelated equipment like a fire truck if it undermines repayment capacity. If you try to do this, you risk default under the SRF agreement. You risk the Department of Environmental Protection enforcement, withholding disbursements, accelerating repayment, etc. And I know at the last meeting that was not live streamed, but that I heard the audio, it was mentioned that the auditor, the man that we pay, said it was okay.
Their company did.
Said it was okay.
They said there was, from an accounting standpoint, there were no issues.
Okay.
Because it was unrestricted.
Unrestricted. So the question that I have, does what you just educated me on, the unrestricted, does it take away my hours of reading the SRF today? Does it take away from the fact that it is a utility loan? It is not a, what did I say? It's a utility loan. I'll go to another reference. Okay. The City of Parker entered into a drinking water state revolving fund construction loan agreement with the Department of Environmental Protection, identified as DW030722. This agreement established how the loan is secured and repaid. Contract language. The agreement defines pledged revenues as gross revenues derived yearly from operation of the utility system after payment of operating expenses and satisfaction of yearly payment obligations. These pledges these pledged revenues are the legally required repayment source of the loan. And it says the same things. Implications for your decision. Because the SRF loan is secured by utility revenues, those funds cannot be diverted for unrelated purposes such as purchasing city equipment without risking violation of the loan's covenants.
Mr. Summerlin, can you tell me if we collected any revenue yet to pay for the SRF?
I don't want to misspoke on this, but what I'm hearing what she's saying is we didn't sign this loan until
January
this year.
Right.
And the money that's unrestricted
Is already in the bank.
This contract.
It's not part of it.
So the money that's in our savings account is
It's from the past prior to the SRF.
And I don't want to overspeak on this, but if I feel if the city financed the fire truck and then tried to use the utility fund to make the payments on the fire
Then
truck,
we'd have a problem.
then we would have a problem.
Okay.
But that this money that is in the savings prior to this contract is not the utility fund being acquired after the contract was executed.
Okay. But something to look into, right? Something to look into. Okay, so the last thing I'll say here is while the city may have flexibility in its general fund, utility revenues are contractually pledged to the state of Florida for repayment of DW030722. Diverting those revenues away from the water sewer system or debt service places the city at legal and financial risk.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Okay. Item 1 is the regular agenda is the first public hearing and reading of resolution 2025-413 for this 2025 and 2026. We need a motion to adopt tentatively. Ma'am? From the council, right? We need a motion and a second from the council to adopt the budget as written tentatively.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I think she said millage.
Yes, we have to adopt the tentative millage first.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, John. I apologize. I can't hear you all the way over there. So we're going to adopt the millage of 3 mills. Is that correct? So we need a motion to accept and adopt the millage of 3 mil? Is that what you're telling me? Okay. We need a motion on the floor to adopt the 3 mills of ad valorem first for the 25-26 budget. That's the first thing we got to have.
Well, I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Before we vote, do we have to have a unanimous vote for this? Is this one that we have to have everybody, since we're missing one, vote
I don't
for
like
it?
ad valorem taxes either, but
This is just a tentative one.
This is a tentative motion but yes, I think we'll have to agree to this. If we don't, we don't. So,
the
if you,
motion stands.
okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Miss Barrow?
Well, what I'm asking is this, if I were to vote no, is this gonna void this out? Is what
No.
I'm asking.
Not today, it's not, because there's still 3 of us, makes up 75%.
Cause I know that we voted on something a while back and we had to redo it because.
You gotta vote your conscience,
But I'm gonna vote no.
okay?
Ms. Botiford's absent. Mr. Chapel?
Yes.
Mr. Haney?
Yes.
And Mayor Kelly?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, council. All right, now we need to move back on to the first one for the public hearing and reading resolution. Is that correct, Suzanne? Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna read the first public hearing and adoption of the resolution 25-413 for 2025 and 2026. We have to have a motion to adopt a tentative budget.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Okay. Okay, then that's the end of it, ladies and gentlemen.
We're voting on just the trim notice.
Yeah, to terminate, you're voting on a tentative first reading of the budget. We have a motion on the floor. We do not have a second.
Wait a minute.
Item 1. Read item 1.
And that is for the ad valorem.
Yes, we're voting on a tentative agreement for that,
The ad
but it's
valorem.
not for sure
I don't
in
think
stone because we're
Mr.
going to vote
I don't
again.
think
So
Mr. Chapel understood what you were saying.
Okay, I'll second that then.
it's what, sir?
He seconded.
You say okay. We call a roll, please.
Ms. Barrow?
No.
Mr. Chapel? Mr. Haney?
Yes.
And Mayor Kelly?
Yes. All right. Second item is the first public hearing and reading of resolution 2025-414 for 25-26 budget. That also requires a motion and to adopt tentatively. And it is for,
I thought we adopted them. It would be the next meeting.
no, we looked it up on the internet from the last meeting that we had last year, and we're duplicating what we said last year.
Well, okay.
The hearing requirements state that in both tentative and final hearings, the governing body must adopt its millage rate before it adopts its budget.
So in other words, we agree to the 3
So
mills,
you're-
and then after
you're
that,
adopting the tentative now, and then you would adopt the final on the 17th at the next
Okay,
meeting.
so we don't need to adopt tonight, though.
You have, yes.
we do, because this is the first reading of it, correct? The second reading is the 17th.
This is the tentative.
Tentative,
Next
yeah.
one is final.
Yeah.
Motion read, is that what you need?
Permission to read, motion to adopt a tentative agreement.
Well, she need to be reading the resolution.
We didn't do that last year. We're doing it the same way as we did it last year.
The reading takes place at the final.
Okay, well, you shouldn't have that down here on this paper then. Okay, we need a motion for the budget?
Yep.
I make a motion for the budget,
Second.
as is.
Call a roll, please.
Okay. Ms. Barrow?
Yes.
Mr. Chapel?
Yes.
Mr. Haney?
Yes.
And Mayor Kelly.
Yes. Item 3, and the final item for tonight is, this is the first public hearing and reading for resolution 2025-2029, 25-29 for fiscal year 25-26 for the CRA. We need a motion to adopt.
I make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Okay. Ms. Barrow?
Yes.
Mr. Chapel?
Yes.
Mr. Haney?
Yes.
And Mayor Kelly.
Yes. Very good. Does anybody think they'd like to discuss tonight, Mr. Chappell?
No.
Nothing? Mr. Haney?
No, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Barrow?
No.
Anybody in the audience? Okay, thank you for your time.